Afternoon VC, Aris here again, or is it? With another vinyl thrill ride. I was in a pub last night, I got told a music related joke which I have to share. I went into a record shop yesterday and said, "Have you got anything by The Doors?" The assistant said, "Yes, a bucket of sand and a fire extinguisher." Sounded funny yesterday, I'll be honest. Bought a CD. I'm driving, now that Johnson has decided that COVID has ended in the UK, I've got to go on a daily 15-mile round trip to work every day, which I don't mind, I get to see my colleagues. And but obviously the money with petrol kicking in at about £6.50 a gallon, I think that's about $9, isn't it? $9 a gallon. The money for records just isn't available. But I thought, well, if I'm doing these long journeys, I need a CD. This is absolute crackerjack. John Savage, the guy who wrote England's Dreaming, he curates a lot of CDs for Ace, who are a fantastic compilation company. This one, John Savage, 77 to 79, cymbals clashing everywhere. It's fantastic. Sort of what was going on in the UK outside of the top 40. If you listen to John Peel or Read the Enemy or Melody Maker, it's a mixture of, you've got The Damned on here, you've got Iggy Pop on here, you've got Joe Gibbs and the Professionals with some dub reggae, Brian Eno, Subway Sect, The Normal, Prince Far Eye, some more dub reggae, The Human League, Cabaret Voltaire, The Cramps, Talking Heads, the pop group, X-Ray Specs, Tubeway Army. It is absolutely cracking CDs, just come out, and a great compilation, 50 tracks on it, I think. No, 46 tracks on it over 2 CDs. It's just superb, great for the car. The poor sods that live share with me, I've got to put up with this now. But yeah, tough. So what I've done, I haven't really got any vinyl finds to show because I haven't really got the money at the moment. So I've done like a random shelf pick. Think of it like a whack-a-mole, but kind of like an adult supervised whack-a-mole. I'm certainly not just going to pick records at random. I don't mind anarchy, but that's a step too far in my opinion. It's a short step between randomly picking out records blindfolded and the breakdown of society. In my opinion, it's you come into my flat, you take your shoes off. As my mum always says, it's all fun and games until somebody loses an eye. So yeah, it's a well-controlled shelf pick. But this is the first one I picked because I'm loving this at the moment. And I hated it when I first bought it. 20 years ago I bought this on CD and I'm disappointed. I love it now. Early UK press of Van Morrison, which I did actually buy about 2 months ago. Astral Weeks, just superb. Just a real one-off, isn't it? I'm trying to think of other records that like it, and I can't think of any record that really sounds like this. Maybe Nick Drake would be close-ish, but not really. It's just fantastic. Madam George is the one that's killing it for me at the moment, Madam George. Young Lovers Do, which is a bit of an outlier on here because that could almost be a single, but the rest of it is kind of stream of consciousness lyrics. A man fully involved in the present but fully aware of his own mortality. Hey, I got that off Wiki, by the way. I haven't got a clue what he's singing about, to be honest. But yeah, Astral Weeks by Van Morrison. Couldn't stand it. I think it might be my age. Now I'm loving it. But fantastic. I'm sort of addicted to this at the moment. Yeah, fantastic stuff. Next up, this one I've just was sitting on the shelves, haven't played for a while. What an album. Capo by Love. Fantastic. And absolutely bobbins at the same time. Side 1, Peerless. Superb. Just fantastic jangle pop of the highest order, including the song that I think kind of invented punk rock. 7 and 7 is. 7 and 7 is just magnificent. Although there's loads of bands, like the Nuggets bands or Little Richard, who you could say invented punk, they kind of invented the sound. But it sounds so modern. 7 and 7 is. If you listen to 7 and 7 is and then listen to like The Saints Are Coming by the Skids, it's like so modern sounding. And yeah, side 2 on this is an absolute dog's breakfast. It's one track called Revelation and it's absolute shite. It just dribbles on for 18 minutes and yeah, that's Capo by Love though. Yeah, it's been sitting on the shelves. Next up, Ryan Kidd, fantastic channel on YouTube, and actually Ryan Kidd and Dr. October do a fantastic stream. I think about twice a month, once a month on Saturday night, and I always tend to watch it Sunday morning because they save it. And I've got to say, I watched it this morning, and in answer to a couple of questions, lads, the best ever replacements album, live at Maxwell's, fantastic, and the best ever hardcore track, come on, Who Are You by Void, come on, Who Are You by Void. I can't believe no one even mentioned that. But Ryan Kidd also interviewed the lead singer of here, Handsome Dick Manitoba from the Dictators. Go Girl Crazy came out in '75. I actually naively thought that Handsome Dick Manitoba was a wrestler when I bought this, because I bought this about in the '90s. And I think when YouTube first came on, I started YouTubing, you know, Handsome Dick Manitoba versus Superfly Jimmy Snooker, or, you know, he wasn't a wrestler. He was a kind of secret weapon for the Dictators at the time. But this is a great album. It was, when people used to describe Cheap Trick or Kiss to me, they'd go like, you know, it's kind of pop, rock and fun. And then I'd listen to Cheap Trick or Kiss, and I think we used to like it. This is exactly what I wanted those bands to sound like. Side 2 of this is magnificent. It's got Teen Generate, California Sun, Two Tub Man, Weekend, I Live for Cars and Girls. It was the precursor for the Ramones. The Ramones were pretty obsessed by this album. And, you know, it was kind of a precursor of American 70s punk, really. A lot of those bands would quote this. A lot of the fanzines would quote this, like Legs McNeil, I think, people like that. Go Go Crazy by the Dictators, fantastic album. Don't know how easy this is to find on vinyl. When I found this on vinyl, it was quite easy to find, but I suspect it's a little bit harder now. But yeah, Handsome Dick Manitoba, he's not a wrestler, but he pretended he was. Don't go looking for him on YouTube. Next up, I don't even know who I got this. The Best of the Peel sessions. Seems like it's some sort of French version, but yeah, it's quite good actually, this. Not really representative of John Peel, because if you listen to John Peel, especially if you YouTube a John Peel session or John Peel programme from the 90s, I don't think people will always remember how absolutely all over the shop he was. I was listening to one of his shows the other day on YouTube, and it was like the most hardcore techno gabber, followed by the darkest dub reggae I've ever heard, followed by this absolutely insane jungle track, about 300 beats per minute. This is, I suppose the marketing men got involved here, because this is like the classic era. These are all tracks from Peel sessions, so you get like, there's Sid Barrett actually, a session from '79. I thought Sid Barrett was well gone by '79, but yeah, Terrapin by Sid Barrett, what a track. But it's got Joy Division, New Order, Susie and the Banshees, and Spiral Carpets, Rob Walker, hope you get better soon, mate. The Smiths, the Slits, it's just great track list, and yeah, fantastic stuff. So the best of the John Peel sessions. Next up, a couple of ones, sort of compilations, which I'd forgotten about. Sort of mid-80s, Kent Records, who a compilation company, used to put out these fantastic little compilations. I've found two here. Kent Stop Dancing. They always had a great sense of humour as well. And Meanwhile Back at the Go-Go. And these were brilliant. For someone like me who just kind of rejected mainstream, sort of around the time of Live Aid, when Queen were back and U2 were back and Bowie was back, and really I didn't want to Bowie in the 80s. I don't care how much revising goes on. No one was buying Bowie. Bowie records used to, you could leave a David Bowie 80s record in the street and people wouldn't take it. So a lot of people, like myself, were looking back, and I mean, these compilations are brilliant. I mean, Back at the Go-Go, it kicks off with Hawaii Five-0 theme by the Ventures, then Breakaway by Irma Thomas, then you've got Papa Umau Mau by the Rivingtons, and then maybe one of the greatest songs ever, When You Walk in the Room by Jackie DeShannon. She is, there's a clip on YouTube of her miming to it on some 60s pop show, and absolutely fantastic, Jackie DeShannon. But these compilations were brilliant, and they had great, good-humoured sleeve notes, and brilliant. And this one as well, Kent Stop Dancing, it's another belter. This kicks off with Louie Louie by the Kingsmen, then 99th Floor by the Moving Sidewalks, that's a killer. I think that's the guy from ZZ Top. Then Sha-La-La by the Shirelles, Twist and Shout, the Isley Brothers. It's brilliant. That's Enough by Roscoe Robinson. These compilations were so good, and you can still find them pretty easy, certainly in the UK. Just brilliant. Next up, yeah, New Yorker roots, Soul Jazz record label. Fantastic. if you're on Discogs, just look up the Soul Jazz record label. They've so many amazing compilations. They've got a shop in London actually on the vinyl Golden Mile, what was Buick Street, and yeah, fantastic. This is New Yorker roots, the rise of Latin music in New York in the 60s, and it's mambo, descarga, boogaloo, Latin jazz, and this is just killer stuff. Ray Barretto, it's really upbeat, dancey. It's a little bit like Northern Soul in a way. Stuff like Ray Barretto's Acid, which has got the bass line of all time, and then it kicks in, you know, just brilliant. Absolutely cracking. What a sleeve as well. But yeah, these are great compilations, and it's a great shop, and all the soul jazz compilations are pretty much fantastic. They do a lot of Latin, a lot of jazz, a lot of soul, a lot of punk now. They do a lot of punk compilations. It's a great shop as well. But yeah, I go there quite a lot. But yeah, New Yorker roots. Next up, this is a cracker. Johnny Harris movements. Johnny Harris, look at that sleeve, look like the fifth member of the Bottle Surfers there. This is from the 60s. Johnny Harris was like, in Britain when they had like shows, just evening shows on the TV, there'd always be a band conductor in the background. Johnny Harris was one of them. But like a lot of these guys, they were tremendously talented, and he did an album of mostly instrumentals. On here is maybe the funkiest track ever, which is, if you go onto YouTube and look at Johnny Harris Stepping Stones, it is the Bruce Lee theme that should have been. It's a neck snapper of all time. So James Brown would have given up if he'd heard this. Stepping Stones by Johnny Harris is brilliant, but it's mainly instrumentals. It's fantastic. It's just a fantastic album, really. It's got a great version of Light My Fire. It's an instrumental version of Light My Fire. Fragments of Fear, this sort of spacey instrumental. Brilliant album, Johnny Harris movement. Next up, Pere, Dub Housing. Don't get talked about. Pere's debut album was amazing. I had it in my hands about a month ago and didn't buy it. It was just a bit too much money. It's got Non-Alignment packed on it as well, which is, again, top 5 punk single for me of all time. Dub Housing kind of gets overlooked. It was the one that came out after, and it's kind of almost early, but it's a bit like Rembrandt Pussy Horse by the Bottle Surfers. It's kind of this woozy electronics, kind of weird sea shanties, mad electronics flying everywhere. Really great album. And yeah, Dub Housing by Pere. I think they came from Cleveland, Ohio, didn't they? But yeah, well overlooked, a bit overlooked this one, and a great band. Next up, the Roches from America, kind of a folk family band. Again, kind of overlooked, but they had the bloke from King Crimson, the guitarist. Always forget his name. Married to Toya now. I think he discovered him, and he does the guitar on this. And there is one absolute killer song on here called the Hammond Song, which again I'd get on YouTube. Look at the Hammond Song. It's absolutely fantastic. So good that the Colourfield, Terry Hall from the Specials formed the Colourfield, who were a great sort of it was kind of like a Latin pop kind of thing going on, and Terry Hall also covered Hammond Song by the Roches on this album, and it's a great little album, this, by the Colourfield, sort of lightweight Latin pop, which was really in vogue by the mid-80s in the UK. It's got The Amazing Thinking of You. It's got Hammond Song, Castles in the Air. Really good album. So thanks. That's my kind of shelf picks for the time being. Hope everyone's all right. Take care. I'm sure there'll be some more videos soon, and see you later. Bye now.